This is WPTA TV, Fort Wayne. 21 Alive News with Victor Locke, Jane Hersha, and Kathy Balloon. Now, the latest from the 21 Alive newsroom.
Good afternoon. 21 gun salutes rang out as the battleship USS Iowa carried President and Mrs. Reagan through a naval review and the start of today's Liberty activities.
Jane, American naval vessels as well as warships from 13 other countries assembled in review in the Hudson River for the first part of today's Independence Day celebration. It's actually also part of the celebration of the rededication of the Statue of Liberty, as well as the birthday of the United States on this 4th of July. Also part of today's activities, the spectacular show of sails gliding through New York Harbor. Tall ships from around the world passed in review before President Reagan and French President Francois Mitterrand. Millions of people are crowded on the shoreline of the harbor to catch a glimpse of the nautical history. 21 Alive will continue its coverage of the Statue of Liberty celebration throughout the day.
Overseas, though, some harsh words for the United States at a 4th of July diplomatic reception caused a walkout by Americans attending the event. The protest was led by former President Jimmy Carter. About 40 other Americans joined Carter in walking out on the reception at a hotel in Zimbabwe. Carter walked out after the Zimbabwean Minister of Youth criticized American policy towards South Africa. Relations between the U.S. and Zimbabwe have been strained for some time, chiefly because of disagreement over the Reagan administration's policy over South Africa.
There were some tense moments in Angola, Indiana this morning. An ammonia leak at an Angola business resulted in a call for help from Fort Wayne's hazardous material teams. The leak at the pet milk plant just north of Angola's downtown was first reported at about 5:40 this morning.
A coupling was leaking. Apparently it's two couplings together with a rubber seal in the coupling itself, and it was leaking. The leak was contained inside the building. We did have them shut down a tank that was feeding the system.
The situation was stabilized by 3 members of the Fort Wayne Hazardous Materials team. There were no injuries and no need for any evacuation.
The son of a Fort Wayne attorney who died in the crash of a private plane has filed a $4 million lawsuit against 2 aircraft maintenance firms. Clifford Simon Jr., his wife, and Mr. and Mrs. Don Shive of Fort Wayne died in this crash a year ago near Winchester, Indiana. Shive was piloting the plane when it went down in a thunderstorm. Clifford Simon III has charged Executive Avionics Incorporated and Fort Wayne Air Service Incorporated with performing substandard work on the aircraft. No one from either of the companies being charged was available for comment. Meanwhile, a close call for 3 people aboard a small plane in Van Wert, Ohio last night. The Ohio Highway Patrol reports 56-year-old Robert Yeager landed his single-engine plane at too fast a speed at the Van Wert Airport. The plane veered off the runway, the nose gear collapsed, and the plane tipped. Yeager and 2 passengers escaped injury, and the accident occurred about 8:35 last night.
While most Americans are spending this 4th of July celebrating our nation's birthday, some are continuing to clean up from a massive oil spill in northwest Ohio. Nearly 59,000 gallons of oil spilled into the Ottawa River at Lima from a Ohio refinery. 21 Alive's Ellen Powers says right now the major concern is keeping the oil below defiance.
A large pool of oil sat on top of the Auglaize River just past Five-Span Bridge at Junction. The booms here are the second to last before Power Dam, a few miles downriver on the edge of Defiance. The booms seem to contain a good amount of the oil. Pollution control workers hired by the Lima Ohio refinery kept the vacuums clean of debris so the oil could be sucked up. Some of the goo did escape, though, causing damage. Defiance realtor Jim Meyer made a spot check of some property.
Seems to be quite a lot of oil on the east side of the river. I imagine there'll be some damage to shoreline for cottage owners. Most of the boats, it appears, have been pulled out, so I would say damage to those will be minimal.
Fishing, boating, and swimming. The big question appears to be what effect the spill will have on recreation and wildlife. Of immediate concern is the Flowing Rivers Festival in Defiance this weekend. Plenty of water activities are scheduled downriver where the Auglaize meets the Maumee.
We have 2 different kind of canoe races. We have a raft race and some barefoot water skiing, things like that.
None of the water fun has had to be canceled yet because of the spill. Festival goers will have to rely on the booms at Junction, Oakwood, DuPont, and upriver toward Lima to contain the oil. Lots of workers are expected to spend their 4th of July making sure those booms do the job. On the Auglaize River in Ohio, Ellen Powers, 21 Alive.
An early morning crash in Steuben County has claimed the life of an Orland, Indiana man. Police say 24-year-old Brent Kelly was westbound on State Road 120 at about 1:42 this morning. He lost control of his car at the intersection with State Road 327 in Orland and struck a pole. He was alone in the car at the time and was declared dead on arrival at Cameron Hospital.
A fire at a Kendallville foundry Wednesday caused some concern for neighbors of the plant, but of deeper concern for the people who live near Newnham Foundry is something they see on an ongoing basis. As 21 Alive's Ron Houston reports, people who live and work close to the plant complain the business is destroying their neighborhood.
Since AMCAS took over operations of the old Newnham Foundry, neighbors complain they and their houses are taking more pollution. In this case, a home has been triple paned in an attempt to keep foundry grit from getting in.
It's not only inconvenient, it's not safe. You can't be outside. There's a lot of evenings you can't sit outside simply because of the pollution from the foundry.
Kendallville resident Ann Liebing says her home was painted 2 years ago and cleaned last fall. Still, the home is covered with a black residue.
I asked them what they were going to do about it. They said they had to talk to their superiors, and I never heard back from them. So I really don't feel like they really care.
The family in this home has the same problem. They decided to leave the residue on the home to preserve any evidence they can against the foundry. Local Dodge and Plymouth dealer Jim Bodigan says cars in his lot have to be washed 3 to 4 times more often because of the emissions from the foundry.
How much would you say you have to wash these cars every week? Basically, you've got to wash them about twice a week, keep the cars looking like they should, which I feel is really... You should only have to wash them every couple weeks to keep them looking good.
Fort Wayne attorney Mark Smith is representing a group of the residents who are trying to take the state to court in an effort to get the state to take action against the foundry.
The laws are there. If that foundry would simply operate by the laws, they could coexist with the neighborhood.
AMCAS, the parent corporation, and local Newnham Division management refused to speak with 21 Alive regarding any of the problems here, offering only a no comment. In Kendallville, Ron Houston, 21 Country.
Still to come from the 21 Alive newsroom, we'll conclude our series on Top Gun, the Navy's top fighter pilot.
But first, Kathy Ballou has her weather forecast, and guess what? She says it looks like a good night for fireworks.
Here's everything that's on sale for 5 to 40% off Saturday at Highland Superstores. Now watch real close and you'll see a sharp programmable VHS video recorder with wireless remote for just $258. Did you see it? You'll also see an AirTemp 7500 BTU air conditioner for just $248. There. This is everything that's on sale for 5 to 40% off Saturday at Highland. And now, here's everything that's not on sale. So if you get the idea that everything's on sale Saturday at Highland, you get the idea.
Enjoying your butterball sandwich, Arthur?
I love my ham sandwich. Butterball, as we both know, is a turkey. You worry me, Alice.
When is a butterball not a butterball? When it's new Butterball cold cuts made from lean Butterball turkey meat. So your favorite ham, bologna, salami are up to 98% fat-free.
Any more Butterball, Alice?
Don't you mean ham?
You worry me, Arthur.
New lean Butterball cold cuts.
Delicious.
After all, it's Butterball.
In recent years, most innovations in frozen pizza have come in the area of crust. Thicker crust, thinner crust, lighter crust, crustier crusts. New double-top pizza from Tombstone puts the crust where it belongs, on the bottom of the top. And our crusts are doing double duty, because double top doubles the toppings. Double the meat, double the cheese, double the taste. New double-top pizza from Tombstone. You'll think twice before you buy anything else.
Laugh it up with Ruthless People's Danny DeVito. Plus, preview a special celebration for Lady Liberty on Entertainment Tonight.
Friday at 5 right here on 21 Alive.
A good day going out there. Is this going to stick around?
Looks like it is. We have a few more clouds up in the sky, but don't worry, no rain is predicted. It looks like we're still going to stay in a fair skies for tonight.
We will hold you to that.
Well, sure. Sure you can. We can't have Mother Nature out doing our fireworks here in Fort Wayne.
No, we can't.
So it looks like it is going to be a pretty nice night for them if you're going to have a good time. But right now, we have 74 degrees outside, partly sunny skies at Bearfield. Southwesterly winds at 15 miles per hour. Relative humidity this afternoon is 57%. Our barometric pressure falling right now, 30.06. And once again, no precipitation out there. Doesn't look like there's any on the way. Just fair skies for our 4th of July. Currently over the area, temperatures are on the warm side, 76 now in Toledo. They have 77 in Dayton. And Cincinnati coming in with 78 degrees. For Indiana, Evansville already a warm 83 degrees, 79 in Indianapolis. South Bend up there with 78. We have 74 in Fort Wayne. We're looking at a high in the 80s today, around 84 degrees. Should be pretty nice. Our skies, we do have a few more clouds moving in. We're not going to be getting any rain, though. They do have a chance for rain up in Michigan, but in Fort Wayne looks like fair skies for most of the area, so we'll still get some sunshine this afternoon. Also, some more sunshine on the way for tomorrow. What we have is high pressure that's off to our east, and our winds are now coming up from the south, and that's what's bringing on all the warm air. A little more humid out there as well for today. We're looking at a high once again in the 80s tonight. We're looking at some awfully nice conditions, fair skies with mild lows in the 60s. Then for tomorrow, the high pressure will still be receiving the winds off of the south of that high. Looks like a little more humidity is going to be coming in. And talk about warm temperatures, we'll see a high of about 90 degrees. And a chance for rain moves in on Sunday due to some afternoon heating, and all the moisture out there going to touch off some scattered storm activity. Monday, also a chance for some afternoon scattered storms from a cold front that will be moving into the area. And Tuesday, we'll keep a chance for some scattered afternoon storms from an upper-level disturbance. But really looks pretty good. We're going to see some sunshine in the skies those days as well. Our forecast for this afternoon for the 4th, fair skies out there, and it's going to be nice. We'll see a high of about 84 degrees. Then for tonight, we're looking at fair skies to continue with a mild low of 67. Coming up tomorrow, another good day, but warm, fair to partly cloudy with a high of 90 degrees. And taking a look at the extended forecast, it's going to get hotter than that. Sunday will be under partly cloudy skies, warm and humid, a slight chance for afternoon storms, high of 92, low of 73. On Monday, partly cloudy, so a chance for some scattered afternoon storms, high of 88, low of 70. And Tuesday, partly cloudy, again a chance for some afternoon storms. Highs will continue in the 80s, about 84, and a low of 65. So not too bad, really.
The heat is back.
Yeah, summertime's back.
James?
Well, former Miss America Vanessa Williams is dropping $650 million worth of lawsuits against Penthouse magazine and 2 photographers. That's according to her agent, who says Williams now acknowledges that it is her signature on a model release form. However, she says she still doesn't remember signing the forms. Williams resigned as Miss America about a month after her reign began in a controversy that started when Penthouse published the explicit pictures of her. Well, still to come from the 21 Alive newsroom, Farm Aid 2 is off and singing, and we'll tell you about it in agribusiness.
And in sports, another effort is underway to bring pro baseball to Fort Wayne.
Wander, Indiana. Get our free Wander book. Call 1-800-2-WANDER.
Okay, Dinah, this commercial is about Holly Farms Prime Parts.
Prime Parts.
And how they can satisfy people who love breasts, wings, legs.
Oh, I have this thing about legs. This is a Holly Farms Prime Part chicken leg, and this is the breast with the basil garlic sauce, and these are the spicy apricot wings.
Yes, Dinah, but we're leaving out a part.
Thighs. I left out the thighs. I'm sorry.
The end part, Dinah.
The end. Oh, the end part. America is cooking with Holly Farms.
Prime performance, Dinah.
Where'd he go?
It's a house that Jack built. Remember that house. We got a place that'll make you smile. A new kind of place with a new kind of style. It's a house that Rex built. Remember this house. Got something for you, Mexican bar hot. Got enough stuff for others they got. That's the tacos and cheese burritos too. Take a bite, it's waiting for you at the house that Rex built. The Rex Salad Bar, hot Mexican bar. All you can eat at one great price.
In agribusiness news, the Farm Aid 2 concert is off and running until tomorrow afternoon. About 75 artists are scheduled to perform during the 18-hour nationally televised show. All the money from that concert will go to benefit farmers. The 70-acre Manor Downs was chosen as the site for the marathon concert after 2 sites in nearby Austin, Texas were rejected because of liability insurance problems. And scientists at Cornell University say most of the $3 billion in pesticide used each year never hits the target. They say the pesticides wind up polluting soil, water, and air and poisoning unintended plants and animals. They claim the problem is in the way pesticides are applied. Researchers believe improved application technique could help reduce pesticide use by at least 1/2 without diminishing the effectiveness. And all the farm markets are closed today due to the Independence Day holiday. Victor?
Top Gun is the Navy's finishing school for their best fighter pilots. The techniques of aerial dogfighting haven't changed much since World War I, but technology is radically changing the way pilots train, as we'll see in the final part of our special series, Top Gun.
These pictures are all fantasy from the new action film Top Gun, but they aren't all that different from the Navy's real-life training school, also called Top Gun, at Miramar Naval Air Station in San Diego, California.
Okay, tally ho. I got him. Going the other way. Okay.
When Top Gun students engage their instructors in mock battles on specially instrumented ranges over the Arizona desert, every turn, every dive, every radio conversation is picked up by sensors on the ground and instantly transmitted back to Miramar Naval Air Station. Computers translate it into video information and flash it onto TV screens.
Both of you on collision vectors. Got a wall of fighters.
When the pilots training at Top Gun are not actually flying, you'll probably find them here in the TACS complex. TACS, or Tactical Aircrew Combat Training System, is an amazing high-tech device that really amounts to the world's best video game. TACS can track and record the movements of as many as 16 fighter planes at one time. You can watch them in the horizontal or the vertical, or anything in between, simply by twisting a knob.
You're dead.
Pilots can't fire real missiles in these aerial duels, but when one presses the trigger in the cockpit, an electronic missile passes across the TV screen, and the computer quickly senses whether it was a hit or a miss.
Pyro, you're dead. Pyro's out.
Do you ever have any pilots that come back here and are actually surprised at what happened to them?
Oh, yes, quite frequently, especially when you get shot.
Many of the dogfighting tactics and moves haven't changed since they first began over France in World War II. But the magic of electronics has certainly changed the training methods. This is Gene Gleason reporting.
The optical department at Sears has cut the price in half. Every stylish eyeglass frame from our entire regular stock, now half price when you buy prescription lenses.
That's not all. Right now, you can get soft contact lenses at the fantastic low price of only $39. Imagine soft contact lenses for only $39. So hurry in
to the optical department at Sears.
There's more for your life
At the optical department.
at Sears.
Summertime is cookout time. Don't forget the great taste of open pit barbecue sauce. 18-ounce jar, just 99 cents at Rogers. And save on Iowa Gold boneless buffet-style hams priced at a low $1.28 a pound. Here's one you can't miss. All varieties of Pepsi-Cola, Mountain Dew, or Slice. Buy one 8-pack of 8 16-ounce bottles and get another 8-pack free with coupon and deposit. Save again with Northern Bath Tissue. 4-roll pack, only 79 cents. Limit 2, please. Now at Rogers Friendly Markets.
The beauty of natural wood adds so much to life, and people who want this natural beauty choose Valspar stains for their homes. Easily applied, Valspar Naturals are ideal for just about any wood surface. They enhance the natural wood grain while protecting it from the damaging effects of weather. Capture the natural wood beauty of your home and protect your investment for years to come with the Naturals from Valspar.
These quality Valspar products now on sale at Broadview Lumber in Auburn, R&D Paint and Supply in Kendallville, and Jurgens Paint and Hardware in Huntington.
Carpet Discount House is proud to announce a new addition to our product line, Mohawk Carpets, America's #1 carpet brand. And to celebrate, we're offering for limited time only, Mohawk Carpets with Scotch guarding and 5-year warranty for just $6.99 a yard. That's right, just $6.99. Take advantage of this fabulous offer now. During the sale, everything in stock has been marked down, some rolls by as much as 50%. So hurry on down to
Carpet Discount House. A better way to buy carpet.
half-mile west of Glenbrook in Fort Wayne.
Well, there's more talk of baseball in Fort Wayne.
Talk, and that's it at this point. Thus far, no action, but perhaps it could lead to something. Fort Wayne could be seeing a minor league baseball team if Bob Britt has his way. Britt, who owns the Fort Wayne Comets and is bringing an indoor soccer club to the city, says he's sending a letter to Mayor Winfield Moses. Britt says the letter's requesting discussions to begin on possibly renovating Carrington Field into a minor league baseball park. He believes $250,000 in improvements could bring the facility up to par for a Class A Midwest League team by next season. In National League action yesterday, Atlanta down Montreal 3-1. The Cubs lost to San Diego 4-1, and the Reds dropped the game to Philadelphia 7-3. It was the Mets over Houston. Los Angeles beat Pittsburgh 6-3, and San Francisco shut out St. Louis 1-0. In the American League, the Yankees down Detroit 9-5, Minnesota down Baltimore 11-7, Toronto 8, Boston 5. Third seed Hana Mandlikova advanced to the women's single final at the Wimbledon by upsetting Chris Evert-Lloyd. Mandlikova took out Evert-Lloyd in straight sets, winning the first 7-6 and then coming back from a 5-2 loss to win the next 5 games, the set and the match. And Navratilova made quick work of 10th seed Gabriela Sabatini. The other semifinal, 6-2, 6-2. That puts Martina in the finals for the 7th time. The men take center stage at Wimbledon today. On tap for the semifinals are Ivan Lendl, Boris Becker, and Henri Lecomte. 2 famous Indiana high school basketball players have been enshrined in the National High School Sports Hall of Fame. Rick Mount and Robert Fuzzy Vanderveer join Arnold Palmer and Johnny Bench, among others, named to the Hall of Fame yesterday. Mount was named Indiana Mr. Basketball in 1966, and Vanderveer was a member of the Franklin High School Wonder 5 team in the 20s. And Tim Simpson is the leader, approaching today's second round of the $700,000 Greater Hartford Open. Simpson began play with a sparkling 7-under par 64, but only holds a narrow one-stroke edge on Dennis and Tom Watson and Dan Forsman. 3 other golfers, Chip Beck, Roger Maltby, and Kenny Knox came within a 5-under 66 yesterday. Bill Kratzert had a 71. And Amy Benz heads the field for the $300,000 LPGA Hall of Fame championship near Houston. Benz opened with a 5-under par 67, leaving her 2 shots in front of Judy Dickinson and Lauren Howell. Penny Hamill, Mary Beth Zimmerman, Amy Alcott, Shirley Furlong are next with scores of 70. Kathy Kratzert is not playing in this tournament. And former Pittsburgh Steeler running back Franco Harris is being sued by a Medina bank for defaulting on a 1982 loan for $321,000. The bank is seeking payment of the balance, which amounts to about $200,000, plus 13% interest. In his 12 years with the Steelers, Harris helped his team win an unprecedented 4 Super Bowl titles. He was released by the team prior to the 1984 season. And that's it in sports today. Jane?
This week on his Green Thumb Report, Jay Walker and gardener Doug Hackbarth give us some landscaping tips on the use of mulch.
If you paid a lot of money to have your house professionally landscaped, it's a good idea every year or two to come back and top dress the mulch with new mulch. Now the first step is to take a shovel and just simply scrape the weeds out that are there. Then with the shovel, go along the edge and re-edge it, which is simply sticking the shovel in the ground and digging down about 4 inches. After that's been done and you rake it away, then come back with some fresh mulch and simply put about 2 to 3 or 4 inches right on top. And when the whole job is finished, it's a good idea to wet it down.
Aside from being attractive for landscaping, mulch also helps to control weeds. Now, if your preference is stone or bark chips, then it's necessary to lay down plastic first in order to control the weeds.
Doug, we hear from a viewer who writes in this week with 2 questions. Number 1, how to harvest rhubarb, and number 2, he wants to know how to tell if his watermelon's ripe.
Well, with rhubarb, it's a good idea to just simply pull them from the base of the plant rather than cutting them. And if the seed pods come up, break those off right away. As far as watermelon, there's no real sure way of knowing when it's ripe. Most people just try the thumping method.
Well, if you have a question for Jay or gardener Doug Hackbarth, drop them a line at Green Thumb, Post Office Box 2121, Fort Wayne, 46801.
All the financial markets in the country are closed today in honor of our nation's birthday.
Sometimes finding the best home improvement loan is like going on a wild goose chase. Lots of running around And just when you think you've got it, the terms change. At Anthony Wayne Bank, we believe in a simple approach to home improvement loans. Low rates without all of the running around. Call Anthony Wayne Bank today. Anthony Wayne Bank, where you don't get the runaround.
This is the hometown of Color Time. Folks around here believe in being good neighbors. You'll see that in the way the Color Time dealers do business everywhere. Offering name brand products, plus a 5-year warranty when you rent to own any Color Time television set. But most important, really caring about customers. Now that may be a hometown way of doing things, but it's made Color Time America's largest rent-to-own system. Come see us or call us right now. Color Time.
Call Color Time today.
Tom Raper, Richmond, Indiana, declares war on prices. Bring your best price to Richmond. Nobody beats Tom Raper's bottom line deal on Winnebago, Pacero, Southwind, Tioga, Prowler, Nomad, Rockwood, and many others. Lower prices made Tom Raper #1. Better service and satisfied customers keep Tom Raper #1. It's absolutely worth the drive to Richmond. I-70 exit 149A. Tom Raper, Richmond, Indiana. A sprawling 30-acre complex. Open daily till 8.
Start your day with Shankles. Buy the best for your family. Shankles All-Star Dairy. The name of these quality. When you love the great taste of milk, just look for the Shankles name. Shankles All-Star Dairy. Thanks, Mom, for buying Shankles. Shankles.
Coming up later today from the 21 Alive newsroom at 6, we'll show you some of the celebrations of our nation's birthday from the Fort Wayne area. Also at 6, we'll have a report on the first day of enforcement for Ohio's seatbelt law. And at 10, we'll wrap up our coverage of the 4th of July activities by showing you some grand fireworks displays. Kathy?
Thanks, Jane. 74, partly sunny skies. The rest of the afternoon, fair skies. On the warm side, looking at a high of about 84 for tonight. Fair skies will continue, and mild with a low of 67. Then for tomorrow, a little bit warmer, highs are going into the 90s. Victor?
Well, finally, New York Harbor has the Statue of Liberty, but tomorrow the eyes of the world, at least some eyes anyway, will turn on to Eau Claire, Michigan. That's because that town will host the 22nd annual Cherry Spitting Championship. Now, the spit-off may not be as elegant as the Statue of Liberty, but it is hard to miss. The reigning champ is Rick Krause of Eau Claire. He can spit a pit 65 feet. That's why they call him the pellet gun. You might also stay out of range because pit spitting has special hazards. Herb Teichman, whose fruit farm hosts the parade of pure pucker power prowess, remembers that once a contestant spit out his dentures. Now the tournament has a rack for contestants to park their dentures on. Boy, that would be the pits.
Oh, gosh, I knew that was coming.
Just couldn't beat me to it, could you? That's all for the newsroom at noon. Thanks for joining us. Have yourself a very safe and happy 4th of July.
Alive salutes Lady Liberty with a special story of 3 Fort Wayne families and their journey to freedom. Tonight at 6 and 10 on the 21 Alive newsroom.
We like to see you smile. That feeling, good feeling, that smile on your face. Says you like that kind of place. Hooks likes to see you smile. Hooks is the name you trust, and we won't stop trying to give you our best. Hooks like to see you smile. We like to see you smile.
I know I can build a new life if you'll just believe in me and love me.
Cliff, I think you should know that J.R. has asked me to marry him.
When I found out that Cliff was using Wentworth funds, I fired him. I think it's time you did the same with J.R.
My own brother tried to blackmail me, so I'm going to vote to throw him out of Ewing Oil. Not until I take him apart.
I'm going to remove you as president of Ewing Oil.
You won't be able to do that.
Share the power of Dallas Friday at 3 on 21 Alive. This is 21 Alive, WPTA TV Fort Wayne, a Pulitzer Broadcasting Company station.